this part. First of all, let me comment this out. Okay. So here is our first program with a little bit of editing. The problem is with editing, obviously. Okay. So as I've said, I will explain this program to you in a short manner. Here we have public class main. Now, as you know that in Java, we have class, the concept of object-oriented programming. So we have a class here, which is public class main. Now, public is a keyword, and as it is a class, we have written here class, and this is the name of class, which is main. In here, we have a method. Now, a method is like a function, and those of you who don't know about function, it is a snippet of program which performs specific tasks for us, and the tasks depend upon how we have made or we have coded the snippet. Okay, so public static void main string args, you don't have to remember it. Even when you, let me show you this. Okay, even when we write here main and we click on enter, it will automatically enter this much part. Let me remove this. Now there is no error, and this is system.out.println, enter it. This is used for giving an output. Okay, now you don't have to type this much. Let me show you. Going back. Okay, if we write SOUT south and click on enter, we have this, and then we can write any text that we want here. Like we can write any text here, and when we will save it and run this, it will print this for us, any text. Okay, now coming to the next part of the video, what are variables, data types, and what we call literals. So in this snippet, we have all the three: int, float, double, char, boolean, string. These are data types. Okay, a, b, c, d, e, and f are our variables, and 105.23.0 f, 23.0 d, a, true, blah blah blah. I've written this intentionally here. Okay, so this is, or we say these are our literals. So what we are doing here is that we are assigning a value to a variable and declaring a data type. Now it may sound overwhelming, so let me write it again, this much part. When I say okay, today I have to assign a variable a value, that's too much work. I say a equals to for 34, and that's it. We have assigned a variable his value. Okay, but that's not that simple. That's not that simple. Wow. So what I'm saying here is, first, when we assign a variable in Java, we have to mention the data type. For that, we write the data type, let us say int, and then we write variable name, let us say a, and then we click on equal to, and then here we assign the variable name, sorry, literal. Now this value is a literal, literally it's a literal. 23, which we also call a value, is a literal. We will also discuss this in this video only, and that is how we assign value to a variable. Now, while assigning a value to a variable, we have to keep some points in mind. And what are these points? These points are, firstly, our variable shouldn't start with a digit. If it starts with a digit, it's not a variable. So if I write 1a instead of a, it is not considered as a variable. Okay. And why is it so? It is a rule. And we can also not use keywords here. Okay. Keywords. So what are keywords here? Giving example, int public. It is a keyword, as I have already told you. Public cannot be said a variable, as it is a keyword already. So when we write int public equals to 23, Java, or we can say IntelliJ IDEA say, bro, it's not a variable. It's already a keyword. You can't assign it value. You have to choose another keyword. Oh, sorry, another variable, not a keyword. Or what when we assign, sorry, what when we apply spaces between the variables? IntelliJ IDEA will again warn us that no, bro, you can't do this. Okay. So when we say a space b equals to 23, we cannot do that. It will show an error. Okay, here it is showing an error. Now, what if we have to give space between these two? What if we write my work, which necessarily require some space between it? In that case, you can use underscore. Okay, whenever you feel like that I have to give space between the words or in the variable, use an underscore, and underscore, whatever it is. Okay, my work equals to 23. White spaces are not allowed. Remember this in your mind or anywhere else. It is case sensitive. Now, if I say that my work is a variable, huh, and if I say that int, and I press caps lock and then I write my underscore work. Now, do you think it should give an error? I thought so when I was learning Java, but it will not. Let me show you 34. Now, what is the reason that this is not showing an error? The reason is that Java follows a case sensitive manner in assigning variables a value. Now, what is this? Or what I mean to say? What I mean to say is when we say my work, we have here work in small and y is also small here. Or we can say these have this and this have different order, or we can say uh, what we call it, different alphabet size, lowercase. Yes, this is written in lowercase and just m is in capital, and here we have the whole variable name capitalized. So this and this cannot be related, or we can say these both are not the same thing. Moving to the data types. Now, as we've understood this much, we will move towards data type. So we can assign more and more variables. Now note that I'm uh, only teaching you the variables and literals which we will use very often. Otherwise, I will teach you the data types also here, but I will not write these declarations for the data type, all the data types. Okay, we will talk about popular data types only, popular gossip. Okay, so when we talk about data types, we have two types of data types. First is primitive data type and second is non-primitive data type. In this video, we will only talk about primitive data types, and in primitive data types, we have 8 types of data types, which I have written here. First is byte, second is short, third is long, fourth is int, fifth is float, sixth is double, seventh is char, and eighth is boolean. We will talk about these one by one. So coming to byte, the range of bytes value can be is from -128 to 127. Okay, and the default value is 0, and the space occupied by this is 1 byte. Okay, when we talk about short, it has a value range of 2 raised to power 15 to 2 raised to power 15 minus 1. Now note that this minus 1 is not from 15 in power of 2, but is from 2 raised to power 15 as a whole. Okay, and short occupies 2 bytes and its default value is 0. Coming to long, long has a range of 2 raised to power 63 to 2 raised to power 63 minus 1, and it occupies a space of 8 bytes. Default value is 0 in case of long, again 0. Okay, and now we are coming to int data type. Now this data type is often used in a language, or we can say while programming. So int is sorry int's the value range is from 2 raised to power 31 to 2 raised to power 31 minus 1. Again, the minus 1 is from 2 raised to power 31 as a whole, not from 31 in the power of 2. Coming to the space occupied by this data type, it occupies space of 4 bytes, and the default value is again 0. Okay. Coming to float. Now, what I will tell you, don't freak out by that. The value range of float is from 1.175494351 e minus 38 to 3.402823466 e plus 38. Okay, now what I mean by e minus 38 and e plus 38 is the number I said previously here is multiplied to 10 raised to power minus 38, where it is written e minus 38, and where it is written e plus 38, it is multiplied by 10 raised to power 38. Okay, is it clear? I think it is clear. Coming to the space occupied by this, the space occupied by a float is 4 bytes, and the default value is 0.0f, which we write like this: 0.0f. Oh, I've already written it here. No worries. Double. Now, double data type has a value range of 4.9 e minus 3 to 4. Now, it's surprising to me also. Okay. To 1.7976931348623157 E308. Now you might assume that, wow, what a large value. Okay, but that's not the case. It's only big in the when we see it, it seems to be bigger, but when we calculate it, it seems much smaller than we assume. Now coming to the space occupied by this is and the space occupied by this is 8 bytes. The default value is 0.02. As you can see here, okay, I have written it, oh, sorry, it's my mistake, 0.0d. We will write it as this. Now, we will, when we come to char, the default value, sorry, first we have to talk about the value range. The value range is from 0 to 65535 slash 2 raised to power 16 minus 1, and you can also check these values on Google, and let me tell you that you don't have to memorize it. It's not important, though I'm uh, what what can I say? I'm teaching you this to have a knowledge, or say basic idea of this. Moving to the space occupied by char. The space occupied by char is 2 bytes, And why is it so? Because Java uses Unicode system. That's it. We will not interfere in any of these matters. Okay, just joking. Default value is 1U000. Oh, now we have Boolean. Now Boolean is my favorite data type because it don't have any value range. It doesn't have. Really, it doesn't have any value range. It can either give true or it will give false. Okay, and the default value here is false. And when we talk about the space occupied by this, it will depend on JV, which is short form of Java Virtual Machine, aka interpreter. Okay, now don't ask me the full form of aka. It is also known as. Okay, what a poor joke. No, it's really aka stands for also known as. I was making another joke, which I'm called poor. Uh, okay, so let's talk about literals now. When talking about literals, we have these int. Oh, sorry, I have to tell you what are literals first. Literals are any constant value which can be assigned to a variables in Java. Okay, that's clear. Now we have different types of literals. First, we have integer literal, which you can see here. 23 is an integer literal, and this is assigned to my work or my underscore work. Secondly, we have float literal, which we write like this 2310f, which we have assigned to float variable b. In third case, or we can say third variable, we have assigned the variable c a value of 23.0d. Now this is a double value. This is a char value. Okay, char d equals to a. Now how can we know that this is a char? Because it have a single character, okay, and it has a single apostrophe also, or we can say single quote. Now what if I say I have to include b also here? It will show an error because this is char data type. Char data type never gives second chance or second character. True. Oh, sorry. True is the value. Actually, this is a Boolean data type. We can also write here false. I was just telling that here are two data types. Sorry, or we can say two Boolean literals. First is true and second is false. We don't have any other Boolean literal here. The third is our string literal. Now, blah 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 is a string literal, which we have assigned to f. Okay, and that was it. And if you've stayed tuned till here, good work. And in the next video, we'll discuss about another things, another topics in Java. Till then, tata, bye bye. See you later.